Hey everyone, looks like I got another UpCrate. We got another unboxing video. I'm falling behind. I'm recording intros ahead of time, but I almost feel like I might end up combining these guys, but we'll see. I guess we'll see when we get there. But first, let's open her up. You know, instead of actually editing, maybe I should actually just open these ahead of time. But of course, we got our supplies that are in here. I'm not gonna look right away what we got though, because we got the book and we got, ooh, okay, I found paper. We got the artwork, which is super cute, and the artist is Ruby Newbie, Elena Mofsha, children's book illustrator. That's their stuff if you're interested. All right, cool. Super cute artwork. I also gave super cute stickers with this. And the first thing that I got is thick ass paper. Beautiful. So this might be mixed media of some sort. So off screen, of course, I'm gonna open up stuff because that's how I do around here. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, well, I was kind of right. Masking liquid. I actually use that in my Heihachi artwork. This is the UpCrate brand, so that's pretty cool. I used to have one of these erasers in high school, not high school, college actually, the Fractas. And I honestly, sharpeners can never have enough. Sharpeners are good. We got ourselves a big old bristly boy here. Colibri, made in Germany. So we got a nice little fan brush. I think that's what it's called. We got ourselves Kohinoor pencil. It is an H. So we got a pencil. We don't have to sharpen it either. And then the rest that's in here, which is something relevant to my interests, actually. Because the reason why I'm doing watercolor talks and all that is Lyra Aquarelle watercolor pencils. I use these a lot. I use watercolor pencil a lot. I never use the Lyra brand though. So yeah, we got some colors in there. We got enough to make some art. So this will be a lot of fun to do. It's going for children's book illustrator. So of course, I am recording these ahead of time, so I actually don't know what I'm going to draw, but I get to mill on it a bit. Either way, though, everyone, let's cut and let's go and do some art. Of course, first off, I do a little swatchy swatch on the paper. I have to say the paper was really soft because it's like a cotton paper. This was when I realized that, okay, looks like the brush is just kind of like wiping over it. It's not really blending out stuff. But I know that these work well. What the heck? And at that moment, that's when I realized I was going to use my water brush instead. And yes, it's a pencil. It was a hard pencil, but it did its thing. It was good. But yeah, I'm just showing off how to use the liquid frisk, and I used my water brush this time because see how that pushed the color around way better? I think it just has to do with the harder bristles. And I'm just showing my other Frisk pen, which has more control because it's a pen as opposed to just an open nozzle. And I did the same thing there. Of course, I didn't really explain it, but you know. But yeah, you see how that's what the Frisk does. It seemed to have worked there. But yeah, then I decided, hey, I'm going to draw Candyman. I did a rough using the materials just to test it out. Because it was limited colors, and so I was like, okay, well, we can obviously redraw and do better. And so I just started sketching out using the pencil. I zoomed in because I realized you can't see shit. So yeah, I just was like, okay, let's draw my favorite horror icon, Candyman. The first movie especially is one of my favorite horror movies. I can safely say my favorite horror movie, actually. If I were to go top 3, it was going to be Candyman, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and Hellraiser, the original. Because I haven't seen the new one, so I can't say anything about it. But yeah, I was just like, it's still October. Let's just draw scary things. And let's step away from video games for a minute and let's do a horror movie icon instead. So I did my fave. I inked, even though inking wasn't in the deal. I made the executive decision because I like doing watercolor pencils with ink. Because, yeah, it's just my jam. So, as I was using this, though, like, I was kind of having a realization about the paper. And I know that it's like, cotton is like a really good quality watercolor paper. I'm not judging it. I'm not, telling people, oh my God, what are you doing? No. I just never really used it. So I have no experience on how to handle it. I only know how to, use the paper stuff. Like watercolor paper that has no cotton in it. You know what I mean? The stuff I can afford. But yeah, but I gotta say these watercolor pencils, though, are pretty good. They do layer a bit, but when I get to watercolor talk and I talk about different watercolor pencils in that, I'm gonna definitely talk about like layering in that, because there's a few that are like great pigment, but then layering on top is kind of terrible. But then I've recently, and I'll talk about it at some other point, found a find where it layers nice, but I might have to try heat press paper at some point for it, because it does work out really well. So because of my colors being very limited, I was just doing a lot of mixing. One thing I like to do with watercolor pencils is like just add different color layers to it at the start, but just lightly. You don't have to go fancy. You don't have to color in. Like, one thing that always drives me nuts when I see other artists doing watercolor pencils is that they feel the need to fill in everything fully. It's like, you can use the pigment and push it with the water. It's okay. You don't have to go like super neat. You can just kind of like do what you see here. I'm just adding some colors. And I know that purple and orange are a good way to make the tone balance out. And I didn't go heavy-handed on the sepia because I know that would make the color way too dark. And so I want to do like even out the skin tones as best I can. I admit, I am not a color mixer. I know I'm not a color mixer. Oh, this is where I use the Frisk. As you can see, it's blobby, it's heavy, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought, oh, this is gonna work out well. My high turned out nice. So I'm just gonna keep adding, and it should go well, right? Well, not really. But, well, no, we'll get to that. I just decided to add some more details, though. Because, it's drying. Added a little more. Like, I know I cut out some of the other drying time. And, yeah, it's just like, just keep kind of lightly layering, lightly mixing. But you wait till it dries before you do that. So these do layer decently enough. Then I decided for the background, I was going to wet down the pencil and get that pigment out and use it traditionally, which I see a lot of artists also doing that. And especially when they're doing a tutorial on watercolor and then they do the whole thing like that, it's like, but we want to use the watercolor pencils. So that's actually, funny enough, one of the reasons why I wanted to start an art channel. I'm not even joking. I was just getting frustrated not seeing like watercolor pencils being used in like, other ways. I've always seen it in the meltdown mode. I'm just like, I know how to use watercolor. Just show me how to use the dang pencils. And that's why I decided, yes, I will go and do this myself. Now, previous Edgy's going to tell you more about this. I'm going to apologize for the sound quality because this is straight from my phone. But look what peeling the Frisk did. Like this here, that's a cool effect. But the ripping of the paper, not so much. But tally forth, we'll figure out a way, right? Right. Okay, everyone, I'll figure out how to salvage this. And salvage I did. I decided to wet down the paper and then color directly on it with the red. And see if I could just get kind of a nice effect happening. And it turned out it worked out really well in the end. When it dried, it got a nice effect. Of course, off camera, I did a lot of touch-ups too, and this is the final result. Overall, despite the problems, I'm really happy with it. So, previous Edgy, what do you have to say for yourself this time? Alright, everyone, and that's the artwork. This UpCrate was a good one. As you saw, I did have a lot of problems, but I managed to salvage that background. I've come to the conclusion, though, that these are not the issue. Pencil's fine. This is good, even though I went to my water brush for the paintbrush. It's only because I find watercolor pencil crayons do spread a little better if you have more of that synthetic type bristles. Not that nice soft one. That's very nice for washes. And for backgrounds and big spots, yo, that's going to be a good brush. I've used the Practice erasers. They're alright. I find them a little crumbly, but I guess for the cotton paper, which I think is actually something I don't know how to use. I would actually say, yeah, it's less the materials issues. Because again, I was talking about how at first I was like, this color's not spreading right. But as I showed earlier, I had a rough sketch and it worked just fine. And what you didn't see at the beginning, I did tests on the materials, how they worked, how they looked, and all that. And there's JoJo ruining the shot. Be right back. As I was saying, after I was rudely interrupted by Mr. JoJo, I did tests. And this is just, I'll show you. This is, you know, just regular Winsor Newton, Cotman, you know, cold press paper. Nothing fancy really. And yeah, it worked great with those. So it was definitely not the materials. I'm really chalking it down to I have no clue how to use cotton paper proper. Because I've just been so used to, like, you know, cold press, hot press. Never really delved into the more expensive paper, the finer stuff. So, especially when it comes to watercolor pencil crayons, because I like to use, like, mixed media paper and, like, regular watercolor. Though, when I do a watercolor talk, though, I cover some color pencils. Yo, we're using that heat press one, because I've just learned the joys of it recently. Regardless, though, yeah, I think it's just chalked up to I have no clue how to use cotton paper. I will state, though, this liquid frisk. Hi, JoJo. This liquid frisk here. No. Okay, well, JoJo's gonna lie down. That's fine, JoJo. Thank you. Thanks, JoJo. You know what? Yo, you're a good boy. We love you. Thank you. I'm not gonna bother moving him. Anyways, patrons, thank you for the support. Candyman, you've met your match. JoJo has taken you out. He's a handsome boy, though. I can't be mad at this little face. Yo. Regardless. Oh my god. This has been a mess. That's fine, though. It's appropriate for what happened. Anyway, so Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. You're all scrolling up. That includes YouTube memberships for my main channel. Thank you so much. And everyone who stopped to watch, thank you as well. And JoJo, thank you too, because you're very cute. So everyone, until next time, I'm almost caught up on the boxes. I'm glad I did horror theme. I'm glad I did one of my favorite horror movie characters, Candyman. And yeah, everyone, thank you so much, and I will see y'all later. Bye now. Do you have anything to say to yourself, little JoJo? No, nothing? Look at this little face. Look at this face. My finger's in the way. JoJo, you're so cute. Little yo-yo man. Anyways, everyone, have a great day.